Hello, everyone. Let's talk about Bill Gates today. We all know him as the founder of Microsoft, the richest man on earth for many years, and also know him as most generous philanthropist. Today, let's talk about what's behind all the good stuff we heard about him and what led his 27 years of married to divorced. In addition to that, he's well known for his significant involvement in social causes and charitable work. However, despite his extensive efforts in these fields, he's also a figure who attracts considerable criticism. So let's dive into what might be considered the dark side of Bill Gates and explore why he's faced with so much critique. First and foremost, one of the aspects of Bill Gates' dark side that has drawn criticism relates to the abuse of monopoly power tied to Microsoft. Bill Gates founded Microsoft in 1975, and over time his company came to dominate the technology world. However, in the late 1990s, Microsoft faced investigations from both the US government and the European Union regarding its use of monopoly power. The reason? Microsoft, under Bill Gates' leadership, was accused of attempting to control the market and eliminate competitors. The company was co-founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen in 1975, and after its establishment, products like Microsoft Windows and Microsoft Office went on to become some of the most widely used software in the world. After the 1990s, Microsoft was accused of trying to dominate the market and push out rival software companies. Specifically, they were alleged to have worked with computer manufacturers to sideline competitors' software. The biggest names caught up in this were companies like Netscape Navigator, the web browser, Java, the programming language, and Real Player, a competitor to Windows Media Player. And honestly, some companies did go bankrupt because of Microsoft, while others came pretty close to collapsing. Then, in 1998, the US government took Microsoft to court over accusations of abusing its power. They claimed Microsoft was teaming up with computer manufacturers to bundle Windows and squeeze out competitors' software. In 2000, the court hit Microsoft with a penalty and decided to split the company in two. But by 2001, they worked out a deal with the US government, and the whole plan to break up the company was quietly scrapped. Microsoft kind of succeeded and pretty much monopolized computer software industry, beating its competitors like IBM, Lotus, Borland, WordPerfect ADN, various independent systems, including Digital Research and AT&T. Today, even the Google is big in mobile operation system, still can't get into computer software market. Only Apple survives since Apple is the only company that able to make its own computer soft and hardware under Steve Jobs' leadership. That's its own story for another day. All these criticisms about Microsoft abusing its power ended up having a massive impact on the tech world. It even got to the point where big tech companies started losing trust in each other completely. On top of that, the second big criticism Bill Gates has faced revolves around the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bill Gates and his wife Melinda founded the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, channeling donations into things like healthcare, education, and fighting poverty. Part of that criticism came from the healthcare side, specifically about vaccines. They've been slammed with claims that these vaccines contain banned substances and are being used to control the world's population. Bill Gates himself didn't help things when he gave a speech expressing concern about population growth and saying it needed to be controlled. That just made the criticism even worse. And it's true that there have been cases of children in Africa and South Asia who died after receiving vaccines supported by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The most notable among them is the incident in 2009 and 2010 when 7 children died in India due to the HPV human papillomavirus vaccine that was being tested. In addition to the deaths of 7 children, other children who received the vaccine also suffered severe side effects. As a result of this incident, the Indian government immediately halted the vaccination program and conducted investigations. The parents of the deceased children also filed lawsuits against the vaccine manufacturing companies and the Gates Foundation. Although Bill Gates issued an apology regarding that matter, he continues to face criticism and scrutiny to this day. The third point of criticism regarding Bill Gates' darker side, similar to the second one, is that he faced criticism related to the COVID vaccine. This is also because the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has invested a significant amount of money in COVID vaccines and has been increasingly advocating for everyone to get vaccinated without exception. As mentioned in the second point, they have been criticized for aiming to reduce population growth and for profiting financially under the pretext of disease control. Bill Gates affairs. Bill Gates and ex-girlfriend Ann Winblad met in 1984 at a Ben Rose and Esther Dyson computer conference. Gates and Winblad broke up in 1987 because she was 5 years older and was more ready for marriage, stated the Time article from 1997. Even after his marriage to Melinda, Gates and Winblad had an arrangement that they could keep one vacation tradition alive. For more than a decade after his marriage to Melinda, Gates would spend a long weekend with Winblad at her beach cottage on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. They would ride dune buggies, hang glide, and walk on the beach. Another well-reported affair. Bill Gates met Antonova in late 2009 at a bridge tournament in Washington, D.C. She is a little over 20 years old at the time. In a video posted online in 2010, Antonova had talked about meeting Gates at the North American Bridge Championships a year earlier. "I didn't beat him, but I tried to kick him with my leg," she said in the video. It isn't clear exactly when Gates and Antonova embarked on their alleged romantic tryst or how long it may have gone on. Antonova was introduced to Epstein when she was seeking funds to launch an online business dedicated to teaching people how to play bridge. One of Gates's top advisors, Boris Nikolic, made the introduction, according to the Journal. Documents show Antonova met Epstein at his Manhattan townhouse in November 2013 when she told him she was trying to raise $500,000 for her Bridge Planet venture. Antonova said Epstein never ended up investing in her Bridge Planet. The worst aspect of Bill Gates' life is his association with Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender who was arrested in 2019 for sex trafficking minors and other crimes. Gates and Epstein reportedly became acquainted around 2010, and their relationship was widely covered in the media. Melinda Gates, Bill's ex-wife, cited his association with Epstein as one of the reasons for their divorce. After Epstein's crimes came to light, Bill Gates admitted that maintaining a relationship with Epstein was a mistake, but the criticism has not subsided. Many believe that Gates' association with Epstein raises questions about his judgment and character. Among the criticisms Bill Gates has been facing, the latest one is related to agriculture. The Gates Foundation has also invested heavily in agricultural technologies, including genetically modified organisms, GMOs, to increase crop yields and address food insecurity. However, these efforts have been criticized for potentially harming the environment and favoring corporate interests over sustainable farming practices. Critics argue that GMOs could have long-term negative effects on ecosystems and biodiversity. Some of these points are true, but others have been met with criticism. These are the controversial or darker sides of Bill Gates, a globally admired and wealthy figure that have drawn scrutiny.